Hey y'all, it's Anime Cayman, and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 1 of Rifle is Beautiful. And I gotta say, this episode kind of surprised me because going in, I was like, it doesn't look like it's going to be that good. But I enjoyed it at the very least somewhat because, for one, in this episode, you're getting introduced to your adorable main character, Hikari. She's kind of a ditz, and the interactions she has with other people were pretty darn hilarious at times. Like, for example, I like how when they introduce this character, she doesn't even know where to go when it comes to finding the rifle club. So then immediately afterwards, you got one of the characters straight up say, "You could have just waited like I told you, and then we could have gone together." And it was her best friend character, Izumi, telling her that. So stuff like that really makes the main character endearing with her ditziness. That gives it a bit more levity. And then afterwards, the only stumble in this episode was near the start. Because in the first sequence, they have the main character inner monologue her name and all that kind of jazz. But then I'm like, we don't need this because we get introduced to her name anyway, and we get introduced that she wants to go to the rifle club literally immediately afterwards. So there were moments where it kind of felt the writers didn't respect their audience too much, but it was only at the start because after that, at the very least, he doesn't do the pointless exposition dumps afterwards. So I'll give it credit for that. And then additionally, aside from that, I like how afterwards it starts to get into rhythm, at least the flow of the script. Because afterwards, they all join the rifle club. Oh, and this is kind of like its second minor stumble. They mentioned that if they don't have enough members, the club's going to disband. But the thing is, though, they immediately find their other club members immediately. So I was like, so what was the point of just introducing this plot point that they need to find club members, and then they just find them in like 3 minutes later? I'm like, why, man? Come on now. Like, there's no point of mentioning that if you're going to have your club members anyways. I mean, that works in sports animes where it takes at least a few episodes to find the minimum amount of club members, you know? So certain things like that, it's like, okay, come on now. But those are the only stumbles, though. Because afterwards, it's funny. You got introduced to your other characters like Erika, where she likes to have her ego stroked when she joins. And then she even calls it her club. But Izumi and Hikari accept it because they just want to find the minimum 4 members. They don't really care. They just want to have more club members. And then you have this one that's really good at sharpshooting, this girl called Igarashi, and she just joins just because she's really good at it. So all in all, I like how it leads into hilarious situations between these 4, because you have multiple instances where they were putting up the fact that Hikari wasn't good at sharpshooting unless she's motivated by food, because at first she messes up the first 2 times. Then when food's on the table, when Izumi mentions there's food, instantly her accuracy goes up, so that was pretty hilarious. And then I like the joke where they mention that Igarashi doesn't really react much, and she looks the same in most instances, at least until she hits the target perfectly. Then she cracks a quick smile, and I'm just like, where did this come from? Really went from 0 emotions to like 100 emotions in just a single second. And it was so quick that you even have the other club members just miss it like that. And I was just like, okay, that's adorable. I'll give it credit for that. So in this episode, there were some nice, unique jokes thrown in here and there. And there was also this joke where Erika's rich, so she actually gives one of her main characters, Hikari, one of this practice shooting clothing to help her out and all that kind of jazz. And that was also pretty nice too, because she starts sniffing it because she's like, oh, this probably has the scent of young little Erika. And then she's like, no, you can't have this. But then immediately afterwards, she has the outfit. So it has some nice visual humor like that. And I like stuff like that in this episode. It actually really makes the conversation sequences in this episode really, really lively. And it's pretty cool. And then aside from that, the script being relatively strong, I like the characters. You got Erika, she's like, kind of got like a tsundere personality, but she likes to be praised, so she's a bit narcissistic. But at the same time, she's somewhat considerate, because she does give Hikari a set of clothing. So I do like that. And then you got Hikari, She's a ditz, but she's energetic, and she's full of energy, so I like that. You got Igarashi, she's serious and competent. And then you've got Azumi, where she's a nice best friend type character who's considerate of her friend, and she's actually quite analytical when it comes to knowing what makes her friend tick, like when she helped, when she used food to help out her performance, her friend out, or when she brought dessert for a picnic. Like, you can tell she's way in tune with her best friend's habits. So, oh no, I kind of like that, these elements in this episode. And that's why I felt, from a character standpoint, this episode had decent animation and art. The animation was nice, actually. I liked it. Character designs were a bit simpler than usual, but it's not a problem for me because I don't mind cutesy art styles. And all things considered, as long as it moves well, I'm cool with it. And aside from that, I gotta say, the opening and ED were pretty nice, actually. I thought they were well done, especially the ED. Most EDs are like still shot slideshows, but here, no, you've actually get some nice fluid animation for the ED, and it actually gets you pumped up. So that was pretty cool in the episode. That's why I thought this episode was competently done. And that's why, taking all these factors into consideration, of a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 10 being exceptional, and 5 being average, I thought it was a 6 out of 10. Just a smidge above average. But the reason why I didn't rate it like the 7, 8, 9s, or 10 is because there are other comedy anime this season better animated, or that just had more jokes overall. Like Katage, African Office Worker. You've had the hero is invincible but cautious. Like, you've had a lot of comedy animes this season that have, like, stepped it up like that from the get-go. And that's why I felt at least this was still enjoyable. Now, am I gonna keep up with this week per week? Yeah. I mean, I'll probably check it out for sure. But I don't know if I'll, like, because I've already got, like, a lot of animes on my plate, like, at least 11 to 12. But I'll see though. But yeah, overall though, I like what I saw. And I can recommend, and here's how I recommend this. If any of y'all like animes, sports animes with like a cutesy element, check it out. But if y'all don't like animes with a cutesy element with sports, you might want to go elsewhere because, at least for me, I enjoy sports animes, so this really fit my wheelhouse of the type of animes I watch. But the thing is, though, this type of stuff wouldn't fit the wheelhouse of every single viewer. So if y'all don't really enjoy sports or cutesy stuff, you might want to look elsewhere because in the genre there have been sports, at least the sports elements have been done better, at least than here. But yeah, y'all, these are my thoughts. I thought it was enjoyable. It wasn't the best of the best, but I had fun. So anyways, y'all, comment down your thoughts on how you felt about my review or the episode itself. Or rate the video, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you guys later if you come back for more. Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Have a great and safe day. Bye-bye.